What's going on to all my Libras? Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. If you'd like to contact me for personal reading, my email address my email address is in the description, as well as the website for you to be able to go to and get it. Also, too, please make sure to get the book at Amazon.com. What is going on with this? The link to that is in the description box below. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. So, there we go. Okay, so the cards that I come up with for the Libras are the Two of Wands, Ten of Cups, the Emperor, the King of Wands, the Eight of Wands, the Chariot, the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and last but not least, we have the Seven of Swords. So what I'm seeing here for the Libras, no major arcana that represents Libra, but this reading is still important nonetheless. What I'm seeing here for you Libras is you Libras pretty much wanted a relationship with somebody, but unfortunately, let me just read it. You wanted a relationship with somebody, but unfortunately, things didn't necessarily work out the way that you wanted it. This person said that they wanted a relationship with you, but they were very destructive, even though that they were still hanging out with you. And that's one of the things that kind of sent you Libras through a loop, because you Libras, see, Libra is a zodiac sign that deals with a lot. Libra is a very, it's called cardinal for a reason, because each of the four cardinal zodiac signs represent an aspect of life, a principle, a foundation, a column that needs to be upheld. When it comes to Cancer crabs, it's survival instinct. When it comes to Leo, it's procreation. And I'm just, of course, there's other aspects to it. I'm just naming something off, one aspect of many of each. When it comes to Aries, excuse me, not Leo, Aries, it's procreation. Excuse me, because we're talking about cardinal signs. When it comes to Capricorn, it's how do I say, the ability to basically rights, right? The ability to determine for yourself how you choose to live your life, right? Responsibility over your own existence. And when it comes to Libra, it's about justice. And what justice is about is, it's not morality. Justice is about weighing the pros and cons of one's actions and letting that guide the way, and being responsible as you're going along in life. Responsibility is what Libra represents. So the Emperor represents Aries, which is the exact opposite of Libra. So the Emperor is about martial arts, fighting, clearing the way for things, making things clear for you. So the Emperor is about how you need to do that for yourself. But you also need to be very careful of this, because remember, as I said before, the Emperor is one of those trick cards that I was talking about. Why? Because the Emperor, the staff that you see in the right hand should actually be in the left, and the orb should actually be in the right hand. This is why it is that sometimes you see people on the cards, they'll hold a spear with their left hand. What does the spear represent? The wand. The wand represents east for fire. So it's the same thing here for the Emperor. So what it's trying to show you is, yes, clear the way for your own empowerment, right? When you had a person spend so much time trying to waste your time, yes, clear the way. But at the same time, you also want to be in a situation where you want to be very clear about whom and what you are clearing the way from. So if you want to get yourself into a real loving, functional relationship, you want to clear the way of all the BS that stops you from doing that, like playing games, people being indecisive. And this goes from either part, indecisiveness, whether it's you or them or both, playing mind games, people who come around you looking to get something, or if you're going around people to get something. The King of Wands and the Eight of Wands represents how this is a situation for you where, and you haven't been necessarily meeting that. You've been meeting a lot of greasy individuals. Well, it's time for you Libras to be more critical. Libra is actually the most judgmental zodiac sign, but because remember, it rules the justice scales, right? So you Libras need to understand that it's good to be judgmental, but you have to learn to use that judgment or that discernment that in a way that benefits you. Just being judgmental and being a Libra and thinking to yourselves that you putting the cart before the horse and thinking that you understand before you actually get a chance to really hear the story out, that is most unwise. Most unwise. And it's going to cause you a lot of problems along the way. And it's going to tax you too. So the thing is that the Chariot is the Cancer crabs. So you have the Chariot, the Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. So the Chariot now represents how you need to understand that it's not about you moving forward immediately to somebody else. That's not what the Chariot is really saying, because the Chariot is a trick card. You're going to be thinking to yourself, oh, the Chariot is about moving forward. You got these two sphinxes to pull the cart part of the Chariot, right? And no, that's the reason why it is that they are, in fact, the two sphinxes are giving you a clue by doing what? Laying down. They're laying down on their stomach. So what they're trying to show you is that they are trying to let you know, although you may think the Chariot is about what, that's how it is that I'm telling you the truth, and I know how to read the tarot, and I actually know what I'm talking about. Because because the thing is that it's trying to show you that it's not about the moving forward just immediately. No, it's about isolation and you Libras figuring out for yourselves just who it is that you are. I've said this a million times, and some of you Libras may be thinking to yourselves, well, wow, you say some of the same stuff all the time. Right, because there's still a lot of you Libras and a lot of the other zodiac signs who have not learned to change their perspective. See, Cancer crabs, see why the moon is so important, even in Vedic astrology, right, which is the East Indian version of it, is because the moon is the moon is very important, because the moon is supposed to represent your emotional responses to things. So once you learn how to stop responding to things by understanding what are your triggers, now you have the power to create your reality. That's what Capricorn represents, because Capricorn can afford to move forward. I don't want to get too heavy on this, but Capricorn can afford to move forward in a way that benefits it, right? Long term. That's why Capricorns deal with time, long term, the long game. Now, what does this have to do with you Libras? You Libras have to essentially do the same thing. I'm just making an analogy. You Libras have to do the same thing. You will stop hearing the same story from me when you Libras actually do the work. A lot of you Libras do the very same thing when you get with someone that gives you a hard time. You knew that, and then you get with someone, right? You love them, but then they tell you that they don't necessarily want to be with you anymore, and you hold on to them. Take a look at Will Smith. I've known plenty of Libras who do that in my own personal life. There was a point in time where I wanted to, potentially make a Libra my fiance and stuff like this. Oh yeah. And what happened? This Libra was still dating somebody else while kicking it with me. Oh yeah. And you know, the person that the Libra was going after didn't even want them, was using them as a piece of meat, so to speak. So the things that the Seven of Cups now represents, how you picking and choosing to be in any kind of relationship right now, that's going to end badly is what it's saying. It's not going to end well. So then the thing is that you have the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Swords represent now that you're going to have some people who are going to show you some love. That's excuse me, that's going to be an issue. And the reason why it's going to be an issue is because if you take it, they are just going to be the same exact thing like what you are used to. Those types of relationships where you Libras are really discontent because you found you found someone and you drew someone in that essentially wasn't really your type long term. You see? So let's clarify the Seven of Swords. Maybe I may tell y'all that story one day. I don't know. But I told you it right here. So there may not necessarily be a need for that. But you have, to clarify the Seven of Swords, you have the Two of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, excuse me, and you have the Fool. Like I've been saying, the Two of Pentacles represents this need, this desire to be in a relationship. And then the Page of Pentacles represents they're going to be sitting up there on their high horse. See how that podium is? It's elevated. They're going to be sitting up there thinking that they're better than you and that they need to be in a competition with you for whatever reason. I don't know. And then you have the Fool. The Fool represents how this is a situation for you where the Fool is about how you need, how do I say, you need to understand that what's going on here is you need to learn to let it all go. Stop trying to be in a relationship that's dysfunctional. A lot of times Libras have it hard because Libras really do want to be in a relationship. But the problem is that, remember, y'all are air signs. So a lot of the times Libra can kind of get caught up where you don't necessarily see things from a practical perspective because you want justice, right? You want equity in a relationship, but you're unwilling to pay attention to what's actually presented to you. That these people, a lot of these people are low lives, and you need to stop making excuses for it because that's not justice. So it's quite ironic. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe.